My husband proposed with his ex's ring. He forgot to get it resized. The ring was a half size too big. I noticed at the restaurant the second he slid it on, it wobbled a little past my knuckle, caught on my skin instead of sitting flush. He laughed it off, said he'd guessed, said we'd get it fixed. Next week, easy. 12 weeks later, next week still hadn't come. We've been together 4 years, engaged for 3 months. He's the kind of guy who remembers things. My coffee order, my mom's birthday, the exact way I like my eggs. So the ring sitting loose on my finger, sliding around every time I washed dishes, started to feel less like an oversight and more like a splinter I couldn't stop pressing on. I brought it up twice. First time, he said work had been insane. He manages a dealership, 60-hour weeks, I get it. Second time, 3 weeks later, he got a little short with me. It's a ring, not a crisis. I'll take it in. He didn't take it in. So in October, I took it in myself. Small jewelry shop 2 blocks from my office. The kind with a bell on the door and a guy behind the counter who's clearly done this 10,000 times. His name tag said Dorian. He picked up the ring, turned it under the light, and went very quiet in a way I didn't clock at the time. You want it sized down, or you want to know what I think first? He asked. I told him to just size it. He nodded, then said, almost like an afterthought, there's an inscription inside the band if you didn't know, real faint. Whoever resizes it is going to have to either preserve it or grind it out. Wanted to ask before I touched it. I hadn't known. I asked him to read it to me. He held it up to a loop and read, M&D, June 14th, 19. My fiance's name is Marcus. My name starts with K. Dorian must have seen my face change, because he set the ring down gently on the velvet pad, like he didn't want to be holding it anymore. I'm not going to pretend I don't see this a few times a year, he said. Doesn't mean anything on its own. Could be a family piece, could be nothing. I just don't like sizing something without the person knowing what's inside it first. I asked him not to touch it yet. I wanted to think. I want to be clear that I didn't spiral in the shop. I said thank you. I paid the $20 sizing deposit. I told him I'd be back Thursday, and I walked the 2 blocks to my car and sat there for 11 minutes before I could drive. That night I didn't bring it up. I wanted to see what he'd do with a normal opening, so I mentioned, casually over dinner, that I'd finally taken the ring in to get resized. He didn't even look up from his plate. Oh, good, finally, he said. Told you it needed it. I asked him where he bought it. He said the mall kiosk downtown, the one that does the payment plans. I asked if it was custom. He said no, off the rack. He just liked the setting. I asked if he remembered the date he bought it. He said sometime in August, right before he proposed. I let it sit there. Then I asked very evenly why there was an engraving inside the band with the initials M and D and a date from 2019. He put his fork down. Not fast, slow. The way you set something down when you're buying yourself 2 seconds. It's probably just something the store had in stock already, he said. The state piece maybe. Recycled setting. That happens. Marcus, I said. That's your name. My name is Kaylee. Who's D? Long pause. Then Danielle, his ex. The one he dated for 3 years before me. The one whose name he'd mentioned maybe 4 times total in 4 years together, always in the same flat, closed-off tone, always followed by a subject change. He said it fast after that, like ripping tape off. That he'd never actually returned the ring after they broke up. That he'd kept it in a drawer for 2 years. That when he went to buy mine, the kiosk guy quoted him $2,400 and he panicked and just used the one he already had. He said he meant to get it re-engraved. He said he meant to get it resized. He said meant to 4 times in about 90 seconds. I asked him how long he'd been planning to tell me. He said he was hoping I'd never need it resized. That's the part that actually got me. Not the ring itself, not even the name inside it. It was that his whole plan for our marriage was betting on me never adjusting anything that didn't fit. I picked the ring up from Dorian on Thursday like I said I would. He'd sized it down a half size, exactly like I asked. He'd also, without me requesting it, left the inscription alone. Hadn't ground it out, hadn't touched it. He slid it across the counter and said, figured that decision wasn't mine to make. I thanked him, put the ring in my coat pocket and drove straight to Marcus's dealership. I found him on the lot, mid-pitch to a couple looking at a Civic, all smiles, doing the thing he does with his hands when he's selling something. I didn't make a scene. I just walked up, waited for a break in his sentence, and pressed the ring into his palm. It finally fit him fine. It always had.